Morning, glorious being. Let me show you the sky before things change. Because over there we have a little rainbow, which is lovely. And, you know, even it's only a little rainbow, it's still a rainbow. And on the other side of the sky, which is just beautiful, there is this huge formation here, which I just find glorious today. So there it is. Good morning, Linda. Isn't this gorgeous? I mean, really. Morning, Paula. There's just nothing missing. I love this. Look at that little curly bit. I'll put it right in the centre of the screen there. Isn't it fabulous? This is just directly above us now. Good morning, Heather. So we'll enjoy some of the garden. And I'll check on the rainbow. If it gets bigger, I'll show it to you again. Let's look. And look, you can see on the magnolia tree now that, yeah, there's a little breeze. And all the buds are becoming more visible because the leaves are falling off. Good morning, Marianne. Good morning, Steph. Good morning, beautiful beings. It's lovely to see you. Berna, good morning. So, let's get a little bit closer to these fluffy... Yeah, see, they're all covered in very dense hair. It's just beautiful. So it's not spectacular autumn foliage, but I love it all the same because it's just gorgeous. I love the changing of the season. Come on, camera, sort it out. It's just not focusing out there. Morning, Jan. It's great to see you. Just wrestling with the automatic focus. This is a New Zealand Hebe, and it's flowering when everything else is going to sleep, which I'm really appreciating. Okay, let's see if we get some focus on these flowers. There you go. So the bees love them, which is lovely. And the native name is Kamahi. And there are many different varieties. There's different ones up here. They flower at different times of the year. That's another one there in the centre. It's got different leaves. There's so many of them. Good morning, Nesreen. Let me show you the rosemary bush because that's flowering. And we'll see if we can get close enough to actually properly... There you go, now you can see the flowers, which are beautiful, and I can smell the rosemary as well. So there is nothing missing this morning. All right, let me... Oh, look at all this. See this green stuff here? That's the nigella. Here are the seed pods. There are the next year's seedlings. Everything is always going around. And the last of the ginkgo foliage as well. Good morning, Nora. Good morning, Julian. Now the rainbow's gone, so let's turn that around. So, right, getting myself on the lawn without falling over because everything's wet, so, you know, I can't just race around the place. I might fall over, and I don't want to do that. So, it was just a little comment that Amy made yesterday, if I remember rightly, about the fact that, you know, when your resistance comes up, the laziness screams at me sometimes, she said. Morning, John. It's lovely to see you. It's great for us all to be here together again. And I thought, I so understand this situation from my own experience and also from working with others. Just in case anybody doesn't know, I do actually work with other people. And it's really cool, and I love it. I live for transformation, really, in myself and in others. It's what I do. It's not who I am, but it's what I love to do. And the thing about, you know, is people rock up to me and say, I'm not motivated, I'm lazy, I'm not getting things done, you know. And inevitably, without fail, they are not lazy. What's happening is they don't actually understand where the real sticking point is. And it's kind of like there's a door into the house, but they're pushing on a wall. But they don't realise that they're pushing on a wall because they just think, oh, well, I must need to try harder. I must need to want it more. But then, you know, the same thing is there needing to be done or whatever. And you think, no, or no, tomorrow, or whatever. You just can't take the first bite out of the apple. Or you take the first bite out of the apple and you nearly choke. And this is what happens, inevitably, always, when we start to explore what's going on with that sometimes incredibly intense and frustrating and painful and whatever else you want instance, I've got to show you this. It's just gorgeous. Look at that. The sky is painting itself for us, and I can't not show you. It's just brilliant. Okay, so what's happening is, and I'll use an example from my own life, but many will relate to this. And I did this a lot some years ago, and periodically still have it happen. There's too much stuff in your house, right? Oh dear. Lots of people are going, oh God, don't go there, Maddie. No! And you pick up something and think, I haven't used this for 2 years. What the hell? Why have I still got this thing? And you put it down again. And you're at a loss as to why you've done that. Show you. See the rainbow's coming back? There it is. Beauty of the shifting skies. It's just always changing. No, good morning, beautiful. So, why is it that you pick the thing up and think, I need to do something with this. I want to put it away. Maybe you want to get rid of it. Maybe you want to put it away, but you just can't seem to. You're rooted to the spot with this thing, and you put it down exactly where you picked it up from. You think, why can't I deal with this thing? What is the problem here? It's just a piece of clothing or a book or, insert your thing there. Why is this so hard? So let's say it's a book. Why it's so hard might be because of the person who gave it to you. Now, it might not be a book you want, but maybe that person is someone you want to remember and you don't have any other connection with them. Or maybe the person that gave it to you is somebody that it was very painful, the experience you had with them, or it still is. And there's something about dealing with that book that means you have to face that pain, for example. Or you want to keep it. You actually really want to keep it. It's a good book. It's useful. You'll read it again. You'll know it's useful to you. But you've got nowhere to put it. And when you go to the place where you put books, there's nowhere to put it. And you think, oh God, now I have to sort out my whole bookshelf. But actually you don't get to the thought of, oh God, now I have to sort out my whole bookshelf. Some part of you just recognises that there's no place to put it. And you just think, oh, and you stop dead there. Or you get as far as realising that you need to do something with your bookshelf, and then you think, oh, I need to take these books out and put them somewhere and sort them, and there's nowhere to do that. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's just endless. And I have to show you this because it's getting brighter. Yeah, dishes, and this is not a post about decluttering. But it's very, very close to the question of motivation and being able to do stuff. Because whatever it is, on some level, some part of you says, I can't let go of that. Or I can't pick that up. Or I can't make the change. Or there's too many things connected to it, and you don't understand what it is that you're actually resisting. Now, maybe if you're resisting study, and I'm going to show you this rainbow again, because now we're getting a second one. Just going to wait for it to brighten up some more. Maybe that study isn't right for you. Or you it really is right for you. You really want to do it. But some part of you is saying, oh God, if I'm going to become that thing that I want to study to be, I've got to show you this now. I'm going to have to let go of the idea of myself as being stupid and incapable of learning. So there's this emotional thing inside you that says, no, you can't be that. Look, the rainbow is in front of the hill now. And there's a faint second one appearing. Morning, Angie! Morning. It's just beautiful out here today. I'm glad I'm outside. Yeah, can you see the second one? It is starting to show up. So we're looking at the pot of gold. It's just at the bottom of the road now. Because rainbows, of course, move. So whatever it is that you are struggling to do, to get on with, there is a reason why you don't want to do it. And beating yourself up because you can't force yourself past that reason, and you don't even know what it is is not going to help you move through it. It's just going to continue to reinforce the cycle of I'm no good, I can't do this, I'm useless, I'm lazy, or whatever else it is that, goes on in your head. That's the thing about laziness. It's not laziness. You're stuck. If you really were lazy, you wouldn't give a shit. You wouldn't care about the fact that you weren't doing blah, blah, blah. That's laziness. Laziness is like, I'm just relaxed, I'm chilled out, I'm really enjoying this, But when you're tearing yourself to shreds about the fact that you can't make something happen, that's different. Yeah, and sitting in an exam, that's different because you have to turn up. That's the thing. I'm going to show you this. It's too beautiful. I've got to share it. Sitting in an exam, you got to show up and do the thing. But the studying for the exam, that's quite different. And there can be all kinds of reasons why it's just too difficult. Sophia, good morning, lovely. All right, I've got to turn this around. My arm's getting sore. But, you get the idea. There's a glorious rainbow. Now, I've got to stop being distracted by it. So, whatever it is, and here's the how, right? Okay, Maddie, fine, I understand. There's crap going on that I don't realise, which is why I don't want to do whatever it is I don't want to do. Yeah, it's been ages. Well, it's lovely to see you now, Sophia. So, what's the deal? How do I move through this? So here's the thing. You got to get present with yourself. Good morning, Steph. Yay! I can see the clown nose. I love that. So you got to get present with yourself enough. And this isn't hard to do, right? Because there's something pressing or whatever that you want to get done and you think about it and, I don't want to do that. Which you translate as being, I'm lazy. No, you don't want to do it. That's different. Because if you were just truly lazy, there'd be no conflict and you would just be lying on the sofa and feeling relatively okay about it. But there's always this pull, this conflict that says, no, I want to do this. No, I don't want to do this, right? Carmelina, g'day, gorgeous. And if there's that conflict, then there's a reason for it. So guess what? You got to get up close and personal with that conflict. And by that, you've actually got to pay attention and think, okay, I want to go do my study. I do want to go do my study because if I didn't want to do it for some reason, good, bad, or indifferent, I wouldn't give a shit. So the fact that I give a shit means that for some reason I want to do this. Okay, why do I actually want to do this? Is it because I'm feeling obligated and somebody said I have to, otherwise I'm a failure if I don't achieve? Or is it actually that I genuinely want to learn this? Or is it a mixture of all of that? Exactly what are you resisting? Are you feeling that actually I love this topic, but I resent the fact that somebody pushed me into it? Because we feel things on so many multi-facets. It's like a diamond. Your resistance is like a diamond. It has many facets. And you can't just bull past it by forcing yourself. It doesn't work. You actually have to really look at the diamond, and trust me, it is a diamond. It's something precious that you've been ignoring. So if you start to pay attention, let's put the rainbow in the background. How's that? Ha-ha. We get both at the same time now. If you start to pay attention to what you're actually resisting, really, what are you fighting and why? Now, I'm very cautious about saying ask why. Don't ask why I feel so bad. Get interested in how you want to feel, right? I'm really passionate about that. But when you're dealing with resistance, sorry, my arms got tired. When you're dealing with resistance, you actually need to know what you're resisting. And maybe, just once or twice, it's worth asking yourself, why do I resist this? Just in case you get a useful answer. If you don't get a useful answer pretty quick, smart, stop asking. Why is about the most useless question you can ask most of the time. Occasionally, it's valuable. Okay? So what are you really fighting when you say, oh, God, I'm lazy, I don't want to do that? Is the task fearful? Here's the thing. Our front doorstep hadn't been looked after for a long time, and that's a story. And I wanted to tidy it up. I wanted to sand it back and seal it with linseed oil. Douse it with linseed oil so it would soak up and, stop cracking and be weatherproof and all that. Now, the problem being with my husband having his foot that's healing nicely but still not, any good for this kind of thing is, that meant that I needed to use the sander, and I have steadfastly resisted using power tools. I got small hands. Once upon a time I had an old gradual process injury. My arms do get tired if I'm carrying something heavy. Nefertiti, it's beautiful to see you, honey. And I just, didn't want to do it, but I thought, I want to do this step. Now, this was 2 weeks ago. And I got the linseed oil. That was the first thing, getting the linseed oil in the context of COVID-19 lockdown. Managed that. And it sat on the table, and I thought, okay, how am I going to do the sanding? I mean, I've got sandpaper. I can do it manually. I don't want to do that. I've just got to wrap my head and heart around this. So I thought about it. Now, we had the detail sander, but we borrow the battery pack from our gorgeous neighbours. That's another long story. We have beautiful neighbours everywhere. We manifest neighbours, no problem. They're great neighbours. So I thought, okay, and it took me 2 weeks to actually get familiar with the idea, for it to get into my consciousness. Okay, I'm going to ask my neighbour if I can borrow his battery pack. And I couldn't do it the weekend before because I was so out of sorts, or busy or something. No, it was a garden day. But last Saturday, it was drizzly, it was wet, it wasn't a gardening day. I thought, right, I'll hop over and talk to my neighbour. Morning, Eric! And ask him to borrow a battery. And I did that, and I put it in a lovely tool that I bought, which is a small tool, and I can manage it comfortably, and I sanded the doorstep and put the linseed oil on it. And it looks beautiful. I discovered afterwards it's horribly slippery. I've got another job to do to make it not slippery, but that's a separate thing. Meanwhile, it's got sand all over it so you don't fall ass over kite. The point being that I actually had to move through that very gently. And now it's starting to rain. I might have to go inside. I had to move through that gently. Yep, it is raining. Let's go inside, because the phone is water resistant, but not exactly waterproof. So, inside into the lounge. Shut the back door. See our scruffy laundry that needs a complete remodel and hasn't happened yet. But the lounge is pretty, which is nice. I'll just move. See, this is where I sit and I meditate. I'm going to move the laptop and get the stand that I use for the phone. Put the phone down. So that was the thing. I had to move through that pretty gently, because I know that forcing myself into, I'm going to do this. No, I wanted to feel good about it. I wanted to feel comfortable doing this work rather than, I have to do this, And because it was a nice small tool and I knew that I could actually manage it comfortably, I don't want it to be an effort. I wanted to enjoy the process. So I did. So moving, and it was, for me, it was just about, this is a power tool I can actually handle with ease. And it took me some time, and, I wasn't under pressure, so I didn't need to hurry about it. But I slowly worked through the process of getting the oil. I need the right day. I got the right day. I need to borrow a battery pack. Do I even feel like talking to anybody? He's a lovely man. Really, really gorgeous people next door. But I have to be in the space where I'm lined up with it. And you say, okay, God, Maddie, it took you a week to get the oil and 2 weeks to get yourself in the space to do it and have the right day, because I'd probably done it the week before, but, and I only get 1 day in the week when I can do these things, and that's Saturday. That's it. Nothing else, no other space at any time of the week, really, to do anything like this. So it's this gentle process of really paying attention. Good morning, Sang Marie. Really noticing exactly what am I resisting? Am I afraid? Am I feeling hurt? Am I feeling angry? Am I saying no to piss someone else off? Am I saying no because I don't feel like the person who does that? Is this like to study or to become or to practice or whatever that is bigger than I think I should be, or bigger than somebody's told me I can be? There's so much stuff that can be contained in a very simple thing. And we just think we're lazy. No. Really, you have to become the person that has done that task. And if becoming the person that can release that book, which won't fit in the shelf that you want to keep, which means that you end up looking around the room and realising, oh God, the whole room needs sorting out. And you can't do the book until you've sorted out the closet, and you can't do the closet until you've sorted out the table. Ashki, it's lovely to see you. And I have totally done this in cleaning my own house, right? And I realised when I was sorting things out, and there was a time when I was just sorting, and I would walk into one room and do some things, and then I'd gather a few things, and some of them had been sitting there for a little while. I'd take a couple of things that I knew needed to go into another room, and I'd walk into that room, and and maybe I'd sort out one place where something needed to go, but then there was a whole lot of other stuff that I had to pull out and untangle. And, then then I would take some of those things into another room and do the same process there. And it's just this great big ball of string. Maria, good morning. And untangling our resistance, our internal clutter, can be exactly like that. And that is why we are quote unquote lazy. It's not lazy at all. Because if you were really lazy, you wouldn't care. What it is there are barriers, I'm not going to say blocks, there are things going on in you that you don't understand and you haven't paid attention to, you haven't got to know the diamond of who you are and all the different facets of, what flows for you easily and what doesn't. And you haven't started to become the person that can do whatever it is and has done whatever it is you want to do. That's the work, of course. And for many, unconsciously, they don't know that that's the work. And the resistance is familiar and known. And to go into the unknown and start unraveling that big ball of string and start unpacking that diamond, that can be scary. So we resist that too. So you choose your resistance. You're going to have to interact with some of it. You get to decide. But that's why none of us are really lazy. We're just not familiar enough with ourselves and what's really going on. Now, in 3.5 hours, I'm going to be back to give you the update from the Gambia and our Sangmarie, who's with us at the moment, bless him. And if you can join us, it'll be wonderful. And if you can't, I'm going to see you tomorrow, but I'm going to be late because tomorrow morning I'm in the Heartfield of abundant manifestation with some amazing people creating, and I'm looking forward to that. So until I see you, you'll probably be a couple of hours late, give or take, and I'll put a thing up to remind everybody. But until then, big love. And if I see you in 3.5 hours, even better. Bye-bye.